Hey, good afternoon, everybody. This is Moondog, and I've got the crew here. We are live with our OPP Operation Bad Blood live stream, and we got a big show today. We're going to be talking about embeds, and we've got some embeds on here, and this we're also going to use this as a little bit of a briefing because we got some new embeds joining us this year. Oh, who's got that? Who's got their a hot mic there with the kids in the background?
That's probably whiskey.
Okay.
Let's see.
Well, all right. So,
It's whiskey.
but let's start off with introductions. I am Moondog. I'm the game manager and creator of the series, and so I'll be guiding you through the video today, and I'll be there, of course, at the event, helping to get the show going. And to my screen right, we have Sonic, who is my assistant game manager and for years. So let's take it away. Let's just go that away, and then after Cyamp, we'll go to Virtue.
All right. So I'm Sonic Ian. I am most likely the one you're going to deal with on the field the most. I like to walk around the entire, as much of the field as I can, make sure all the teams are having a good time. People are being safe and healthy and drinking their water and calling their hits. I'll be doing spot checks for chrono, just like every other embed should be doing during the day. And just making sure we have a good event and nobody's out there being stupid. And over here, let's that way. Take it away.
I'm Siam Anthony. I don't know what you'd call me this year, but usually I would just run chrono and field check and spot stuff. So I guess I'm going to be the equipment checker and uniform checker.
Yes, you're be our line inspector, the manager. So when you're getting on that long chrono line, and make sure you have all your gear, because Cyamp is going to make sure you have all of your correct gear.
Yeah, I just can't shoot nobody.
He wants to, though. I can tell. All right, and directly below me we have Virtue. Oh, go ahead. Sorry, Tony.
I was going to say down and all the way to the left is Sin or Virtue.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. That was a nice introduction. Yeah. So Virtue, this year I'll be running with Tribals to take a break off from herding cats as a CO. But I'm actually in charge of chrono and weapon safety, so I'm the first person that's going to tell you no of the day. Just the whole point is to be safe. We're all out here throwing plastic BBs at each other. Just don't be that guy.
Right on.
Safety I'm going to hand it off to Doc.
Hi, I'm Doc. I'm the CO to Deus Ex or Deus Ex.
All right.
Okay, thank you.
Short and sweet.
All right, you're off next, Chase.
I'm Chase. I'll be an embed for Tan.
And I should mention for everybody, mention how many Bad Bloods you've been to, and if you have had a previous role in one, mention that. So I've been around since all of them.
So my first Bad Blood was 2019, and I haven't had a chance to get back and play, but being an embed is going to be a lot more exciting experience for me because I get to view Bad Blood from a different perspective.
That's great.
Cheap herder.
And I was going to go off to Cardelos, but I don't know if are you ready there? Are you mixing us a drink?
I'm always ready. Yes, tonight is going to be a Manhattan that will be smoked. Hi, I'm Cardelos. I've been coming to Bad Blood since, what was it, 2016, 2015?
No.
13.
2013.
I was going to say 12, because I think I remember you from 12.
Yeah, it's been a long time. Missed a few years from injuries, births, wedding 1 year. But yes, I've been embed for most of them. And yeah, pretty much introduced myself every week so far. So if you don't know me by now, tough. You'll figure me out on the
All
field.
right. And next we have Whiskey, I think.
That looks like a
Yes, I'm
tree.
here. I'm here. It was. I'm outside. I'm Whiskey. This year I'm in betting for green. I've been around since like the first Bad Blood. I've CO'd green. I've CO'd black shirts. This year I'm in betting for the green guy for General Green's army.
Excellent. And next up we have is that Amanda?
It
Is that
is.
your
That's Mom.
mom? We have Mom.
I'm running up at med for Deus Ex, I guess. Been going to bed. Took a couple years hiatus, and now I'm back. What was that?
Well, great. Thanks for coming back. And we have text, though I don't see a video. Text, can you hear us?
Hey, Moondog, I can hear you just fine. I'll be off camera today.
That's no problem.
Making our way back from a little trip to Washington's Crossing today. So, pretty cool stuff. I'm Tex, the XO on the DSX side. First platoon leader. Good to see everybody.
Excellent.
Very nice.
All right, so we got a good group of folks today. We got a good mix of veteran embeds and COs, as well as some new folks. So before we get started talking about embeds and what the roles are and their responsibilities, I wanted to first start off with some new news. If you haven't seen it on the boards for the Bad Blood series, we have a Facebook group where we post a lot of information about the event. But the biggest news is no smoke markers this year. And that came straight from Timmy over at EMR because of the field conditions. It's been an unusually dry winter, and there are unusually dry conditions on the field. So he doesn't want to risk a grass fire. So usually we smoke. Smart smoke has been allowed at every game, but this year, not even sports smoke. No smoke at all is going to be allowed, and in general, no pyro of any sort in terms of any other sort of non-smoke grenades. So just be aware of that. Save your smoke markers for some other event, but don't bring them for Bad Blood. And short of a miracle downpour for the next couple of days before the event, just don't plan on bringing any smoke markers.
And like I put in the little infographic, Timmy is allowing Enola Gay 67s, but I would fully expect those at come game day to be a no, just on the safe side, because they do still have a spark to them, and if he's concerned about any kind of dry conditions from smoke grenades, I'd be afraid of any kind of pyro, even a pea grenade as well. So I would fully expect him on the game day to say no to that as well. But as of right now, Enola Gay 67s are allowed.
Well, that one would be the one to throw it out there and be that guy. But are they going to limit people smoking on the field, like cigarettes? Because
There's always a rule
I've
of
seen-
no smoking on the field. That's always been a
because
rule.
Yeah,
No
the smoke.
Banned
Yeah,
smoking
smoking's
on the
not
field years
allowed.
ago.
Yeah.
I've seen people smoking on the field and just dump their cigarettes. So
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
If you see that, like anything that we have in the game, if you see something, say something. Tell your embed. We'll get the staff out there, and then especially if you can get their call sign that's on their gear as to the player that's in violation. Okay, because if we get a violations out there and we can track it down, we will penalize the entire team. So don't be that guy. Follow the rules.
Are you guys going to send out notices to like all the COs and embeds so they can remind their people in their various channels about no smoke and this, that, and the other thing, or try to reaffirm everybody on the day?
Yes.
Well, yes to both.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was about to say, every safety briefing Tim has given us has stated there's no smoking on the field.
Yeah.
All right. So Other news: we have the swap meet is back on Sunday. So if you have gear you want to sell, this is I'm going to read the exact quote from Tim. Swap meet is in the pavilion, courtyard, and rec center parking lot on Sunday after the zombie game. First come, first serve on space and parking. No saving spots prior to game ending. Anyone trying to set up before the game ends will be told to leave and not allowed to set up at all. So bear that in mind. So swap meet is back, but wait until the zombie game ends before setting up. And we'll post that up on as its own post thread in the Bad Blood series. And this was a question that was posed to me by one of the players. They've been told for whatever reason, yes and no, about bringing printouts of the EVIC order form. And that is a definite yes. Bring printouts of your order form. Take screenshots. Do both, because you never know. Your phone may go out. You may die once you get to the front of the sign-up line. Bring printouts, but do both, because you may have forgotten your printout, or you might print it out on an inkjet printer and then spill coffee on it. I don't know. Whatever.
You still have to fill out a paper. You still have to do a paper waiver anyway, right? Yeah. I don't think EMR has gone to e-waivers. So
yeah, true.
You've already got to print out your waivers. So you might as well print out your confirmation email.
Yep. So there you go. Print out your waivers. Print out your order form, and that's the confirmation email with your order number that you got from EVIC when you bought the tickets. Bring the printout, because that is going to be your proof. That's what our sign-in staff. And we'll go next week. We'll bring in Vendetta and the sign-in staff to answer your questions about the whole sign-in process. But bring printouts, because they're going to be looking it up using your photo ID as well as the printout. And we'll need to know who bought the ticket when we're looking up your tickets, and to be able to hand you your wrist tags. And again, this year wrist tags are going to be specific colored to your faction. So SciAmp is going to be inspecting wristbands as well, to see that you're wearing the right uniform for your wristband. All right.
Moondog, you got a question up here.
Oh yeah, sure.
Which one?
Any cost for people selling, i.e. charge for a table?
No, it's first come, first serve.
I don't remember Tim ever charging anybody for doing that.
No, it's first come, first serve. You set up your table at the appropriate time and at the appropriate area, and you're good to go.
Mm-hmm. So yet another way that we're trying, that EMR, and we're all trying to keep this community based. All the folks who are on this video right now, we're all volunteers on this thing, and this isn't like a big business here. We're all just trying to give back to the community and support a really good charity. So yeah, it's great that there's no charge to set up a table. All right. Okay, so let's get started. Embeds are embedded referees for the game, and we've had them pretty much since the beginning. The 15 years ago when I started the event, it was a trend that was started to in Milsim to have the referees dressed as players, so that the players didn't know, so we could catch those blatant cheaters who were always looking for the guys on the field wearing the ref's jersey or yellow, and then as soon as they disappeared, they would go ahead and continue on with their shenanigans. So as each of the factions has 3 referees, embedded referees on the team. 2 of them will be managing the triage. So they're going to be around the triage area and keeping an eye on it, but there will always be at least one moving around, checking out all the players, and of course responding to any calls from within their faction to possible cheaters out there or people with hot guns. That's what they're there to do, is make sure that everybody plays fair. And I can't stress enough, an embed's role is game staff, is making sure that their faction plays by the rules. The players in the faction plays by the rules. They're not there to make sure your faction wins. they're there to make sure that the people in their faction play fair. So that's really what the roles and responsibilities boiled down to. Now, there are all going to be some additional functions and tasks. Like in the morning, we have a general safety briefing that Tim, as well as myself, do over at the main pavilion on stage. But time permitting, also when you go to your gathering location, your rally location for your faction at the beginning of the game, they'll also go over just a reminder what the safety rules are, and helping the COs repeat and stress what your goals are. They'll also, as I mentioned, be managing the triage. That's your respawn point. So this year we're going to be using flags instead of the pool noodles. So we'll be issuing out yellow flags to each of the embeds in lieu of the yellow. Well, funny, I'm wearing a yellow vest, but usually we've given out yellow vests to the embeds to wear when they're not being players and full-time being referees. But this year we're going to issue out all the embeds with a yellow soccer flag. That's linesman call flags. But we're also giving each of the embeds a discrete but definite yellow armband that they can wear, so that you can always know when a particular player is telling you, hey, stop doing that. If they are wearing the yellow armband, that means that they're an embed, and you better listen. So, because otherwise, out you go. So
I'm gonna stop you just real and derail just for a second, because we do have a question that I want to make sure gets answered.
Sure.
So, will there be rentals on site? Unless something has changed at EMR, no. They're primarily a paintball shop. I don't really know if he's equipped with any kind of rental situation.
But
go on.
There are vendors who are happy to sell you.
And Tim does have some lack of better words, low grade or lower cost AEGs. What he had last year, he had 1 or 2 up on the wall that you might be able to buy.
Yeah, what I like to say all the time is don't expect it to be there. If he does, great, but expect that there's not going to be any kind of rental situation. So if you need to get your stuff fixed, get it fixed now, or bring some cash and buy something day of.
Okay.
Sorry.
So getting back to the embeds and flags. So your thoughts, any embeds out there in terms of, I know a number of you hated the pool noodle. So
it's better than that big flag you used to make us carry around when you had Task Force Congo.
Yes, well, that's the reason we went to the pool noodles instead of the full size flags. But we're going to use I'm thinking maybe we should have a special flag just for the triage.
We're already doing so many different things.
Why don't you use the medic flag, the circle with the red cross?
Yeah, well, we already have the linesman flags.
No, hear me out.
Mm-hmm.
No, and here's why. Sorry. The flags already indicate that is something they should be paying attention to, whether it be a rep or an embed. If you add something else in, it makes them stop and think. If they know it's a yellow flag and I shouldn't be shooting there, we are golden. We are dealing with airsofters. Let's not complicate it.
Yeah, even with yellow, though, they still tend to shoot yellow.
Again, but if we add another color, let's not make it complicated.
Yeah,
personally,
there's never going to be 100%. I mean, there's always going to be,
yeah. Those are perfect.
This is the flag.
Those are perfect. I'm waiting to see how. I'm reserving judgment on how well this works because I know the pool noodle just turns somebody into a target. And I'm not calling anybody out, but if you cheat at a charity event, there's something mentally wrong with you. But the giant pool noodles, we get teams now that'll camp around when they see the pool noodle. As an embed, all of us hate carrying that freaking pool noodle around because it does make you a target and it shouldn't.
So my quick thought, Cindy, you done?
Yeah, good.
So my quick thought with the pool noodle, why I actually loved it, was unlike a flag, I could stick it in my gear or my back. Yeah, it gets snagged on every branch, but then my hands are free to move around. With the flags, I don't know if they'll be as noticeable. They're great for like when I have to go to dispute something or have to come clear something up. So then like waving it, people see it. But as far as people knowing where the respawn is, I'm not going to be sitting there waving that thing for all 6 hours, you know?
Well, get that little thing you can put on your helmet and stick the flag in the top of the helmet and walk around with it flying like that.
Like you've
Like a
got a
little hat with the
quest.
propeller, just put the flag up there.
Like you got a quest to give. Honestly, I
Yeah.
think the best compromise is a split between the difference, and that's keeping the pool noodles for triage and replacing the vest with the flags.
That's
Because
And
personally,
that was actually the idea I thought we had the compromise we came to last week, because Cardelos had said this already, was he likes the pool noodle because of the hands-free operation. He can always stick the flag in the hole of the pool noodle. Now, if the embeds who want to carry a pool noodle want to carry a pool noodle, why stop them? But eliminating the vest was more for my idea was for the embeds kind of comfort, where they didn't have to go digging for a vest and try and put it on over their gear or tie it onto a shoulder strap or wave it around like a flag. Here's a flag, pull it out of your pocket, you're good to go. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
if they still want to carry a pool noodle, let them carry a pool noodle, right?
I love the flag as a replacement for the vest because last year I literally told somebody to wait there while I went digging for the vest to pull it out and put it on, and they bolted.
Okay.
Yes. So this thing is what, 14 inches long at best. It's going to fit in a hip pocket. You're good to go. You know, we're all wearing tactical pants out there. Shove it in your thigh pocket. You're good
Well,
to go.
not Sin. He's wearing a kilt, so.
Fair enough. But you know.
Well, I don't want to know where you stuffed that into under your kilt. So.
Excuse you, sir. My kilt has mag pouches. It can hold 8.556 bags. Okay.
Mine does too.
Oh, what was that?
Can you hear me? Sorry.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah.
Some background noise, but we can hear you.
Or are you somebody mixing a cocktail there? Before we go to the next topic. Oh, okay. I was going to introduce Headkill since he joined us. Okay, good. He's not going away. So Headkill, why don't you introduce yourself? You got your headphones on? We'll give you a second there. Okay, so he's still getting his stuff on. So okay, well,
sorry, you could actually hear me now. Probably.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, you were hearing some fan noise. Sorry, my Surface has a bad fan. Yeah, hi, I'm Headkill. I'm the tribal CO once again. Well, last year was my return. But yeah, look for me out in the field. Yeah, this year with an unlit cigar, probably.
Yeah, no lit cigars. So, Tom, we have a question before we move on.
Yes. Where's the question there? Will there be sufficient amount of patches at the reg? Yes, we have ordered 1,000 patches. So short of somebody, doing a drive by or a run by and grabbing, doing a snatch and grab of a couple of them, there'll be enough for all the players.
Are they going to be there in time? Because I remember one year they didn't even show up.
Yes, but this year they have. They've arrived early at Gunner's house, and he sent me a shot of the box, of the contents of the box. So they're there. They're waiting
for the
us.
box.
Yes,
box. Don't start that again.
Well, getting back to the pool noodle. So we'll keep the noodle for the triage. And if you don't want to, if as an embed, if you don't want to deal with the pool noodle, you could always, just keep a flag above your head, or ask one of the players to hold a flag above their head, your flag above the head while you're waiting around. But we'll keep that the pool noodle as an option there. Now, which brings the question. We're going to be working in a team of 3 for each of the factions. So we're going to have 2 triages. So 2 embeds are going to be functioning as the managers for those triage. And the third embed is going to be our spot checker, who's going to have a chrono, is going to be spot checking hot guns, going to be dealing with the calls. As he's going to be the primary, or she is going to be the primary embed to respond to any issues that are in their immediate area of the map. As embeds, figure it out either well before, or if you have to on the game day, figure out your shifts. Working for an hour and switching roles, or if you want to stay as the manager the entire time, it's up to you. But work that around. And if you need to use the facilities, or have some other reason that you need to relinquish your role, get some coverage on there. But work it out well before you get onto the field. Who's taking what position, and if you are taking shifts, how that's all going to work out. In fact, I'll open it up if you have any thoughts, tips and tricks in terms of managing that sort of thing, guys.
Are you going to have enough chronos to deal with chronoing station and then giving them to these embeds, or the embeds are going to bring their own?
No, we're going to have enough.
Okay.
Yeah. So because I'm getting 4 extra chronos to give out, to one for each of the factions, and also we have an extra one from last year to give out to the tribals.
Okay. Yeah, no, just I haven't been in embed in so long, so there's other than just you herd sheep all day long. It's pretty much that's it. Yell at people.
Well,
Don't do that.
Yeah. And this gear, communication. That's something that Ian definitely brought up. We're all going to need ham radios, Baofangs, essentially. It doesn't have to be that brand, but you know what I'm saying.
I have a Baofang. It's programmed to the channels we usually use. I mean, I don't know if you want to reprogram.
We're gonna have a new channel for
the staff. We'll do a quick on-field program, because I have a repeater system, so that way we don't have any dead spots either.
Yeah, but this is really to address the fact that in previous years, either some asshat local malcontent was jamming channels and screwing up with our communication that we have to do as staff members, or just somebody clueless who didn't know how to use the radio,
and had the hot mic all the time.
Yeah. So that's the reason why we're going to be switching over to Baofeng, and we're going to be at least the staff channels. The regular factions are going to be on FRS, GMRS channels, but for the staff is going to be on a whole nother.
So I have 2 Baofangs. I usually keep them. One I keep was for like our admin channel, and one was for like Tim's channel for like the field, so I could listen to everything that was going on. So I'll just make one for the field and one for you guys.
Yeah, that's good. And again, check with Ian. This gets to the next topic. For all the embeds and staff, at the beginning of the game, before we actually officially do the safety briefings, I want everybody to meet me up at the Wolf's Lodge, which is this their game room den.
The hot and sweaty room with no ventilation.
Yes, and plenty of mosquitoes above the shop. So there's actually a set of stairs behind or next to where the sign-in registration desks or counter is. There's a set of stairs. Go up those stairs. We're meeting there for a pre-game briefing, but this is also where we're going to be handing you out your gear, your flags. Ian's going to be there to update anybody's radio. And
got some loaners in case anybody doesn't have a programmable radio, but I don't have a lot. But I've got some loaners, but everyone pretty much has those programmable radios these days. So
yeah, so we're going to be handing you out there.
Amazon has them for like under $20 too.
Yeah, right? Like 18, 19 bucks. Yeah,
they're clearing out the UV5Rs because they released the 8 watts.
Oh, okay. Well, get these ones. These are perfectly fine for the 5 watts are perfectly fine for what we need. So again, pre-game before the game starts, meet us over at the Wolf. Is it the Wolf Den?
I think it goes to Wolf's Den. Yeah.
Yeah, Wolf's Den. And post-game, gather any of the gear that you might have lent out or what have you. When we call, we'll let you guys know, the embeds know when we're planning on wrapping up the game, and that'll depend on the field conditions, and also I'll be checking with each of you to get a temperature read on your faction. I mean, are your guys exhausted? Do you want to wrap it up early so that people can get back and rehydrated?
Hydrate,
and,
yeah,
what have you. Sometimes we called the game at 4 o'clock just because it was just too damn hot.
Yeah, well, like last year, we had a bunch of people going down last year.
So,
actually, that brings up a question we got from someone, which I think is a good question to talk about. So they're asking about certified first responders, and that's great. EMR contracts with local EMS to handle real world emergency type stuff. If you are a certified first responder, I'm going to ask you to make yourself known to Timmy, and he'll decide what's best for you. That's not really a question for us. We're guests and tenants at the field. So it's best that you make yourself known to Tim before the briefing, and he'll decide what's going to be the best role for you there.
Yeah, and if they can use your help, I'm sure he'll introduce you to their head medic over there, and you guys can work that out. Now for post game as well. After the game is over, I want everybody back up at the wolf den, so we can collect all the stuff from everybody, all the chronos, all the flags, and everything. But more importantly, so we can get an after action on what was going on at the field. And of course, we're going to need to tally the score. So we want everybody back. So I know in previous years some new embeds didn't know that they had to come back, and so we had people missing before we started the raffle. So before the game starts and after the game, everybody, the entire staff meets up at the Wolf's Den. Got it?
Yes.
All right. All right. So I'm going to open up to you guys. Let's do a round here. Sonic, you've been an embed before as well.
Many times, yes.
Yeah. So everybody give their best advice, a piece of advice for embeds or for players coming from the point of view of an embed.
Okay. As an embed to the players, I ask that it's not a popularity contest. It's not a, I'm better than you, you're below us, whatever. The embeds are chosen for games like this because we can count on them to do their job as a gamekeeper as opposed to a player. So if they tell you, no, that's not allowed, do this instead, something like that, it's not that they're trying to boss you around to flex muscle. It's they're there to make sure you're safe, you're sane, and you're having a good time. So we have that kind of pseudo military chain of command kind of thing. And again, it's just to make sure everybody's on the same page and enjoying themselves, because nothing's worse than 250 people being bossed around by somebody who is just trying to flex. And what's going to happen? They're gonna walk off the field by 1 o'clock. So the embeds are there primarily to help you have a good game, keep you safe, keep you engaged in the game. They're there to rally you up, to get you prepared, to make sure you are drinking, you are eating when you get a chance to. So we choose them because we know that they're going to do the role, right?
Well, just to keep going on what Ian was saying is, you're there to like give advice. And what I found when I embedded a lot was, like Ian said, it's not a popularity contest, and you're going to get people that are not going to like what you tell them. Hell, last year I got shot up all the time and I was wearing yellow. And it's best if you just try to be friendly with them, but forceful. Don't like, if you see them doing something, say something, but don't like start yelling and screaming at them at the top of your lungs like you're a drill sergeant, because that's not going to go nowhere with them. At the same time, be prepared that people are going to curse you out. They're going to yell at you, tell you to go screw yourself. And it happens. It's the nature of people. And last year I lost my cool with some kids that I had problems with on the field that shot me up and disrespected the rules. And that's why I'm not on the field this year. So but you know, you just got to take it with a grain of salt. That's all I
Well,
can say, really.
well said.
Let me pull up my old man pants here for a minute. This is going to come from both the point of view of a player and a guy who is embed, ran games, ran a store, ran a field. Is an embed, it's important to be concise, be clear, and be calm. They're going to yell, they're going to cuss, they're going to tell you that you're wrong, this, that, and the other. And the simplest way of dealing with this flat out, remain calm, remain concise, and tell them flat out, you can sit here and argue with me about plastic BBs. I can get somebody above me to come down, and we're still going to sit here until they get here. Or you can do what I ask you to do and continue playing your game. It's surprising how many grown adults will stop and stare at you and go, "You're right." And it doesn't matter how hot, how heavy they get. If you stay calm and point out the level of stupid that they are putting out, you point it out, most of them will stop. And we've had, yeah, exactly, cooler heads will prevail. And it's happened before. It happened last year, Bad Blood. A guy started yelling and cussing at somebody because he got shot in the back of the head. And I turned around and I went, "Did you come here expecting not to get shot?" And he just kind of stares at me and I went, "You're dead. Be quiet." And from for the embeds also, and this is very important, this is not just a Bad Blood thing. I've had to point this out at several places this year alone, and this is important. This is coming from a legal point of view as a lawyer. If a physical altercation breaks out, I don't care if it's your best friend, do not get involved. The moment you become part of that altercation, you end up on the police report. You wait till hire comes over to deal with it. You call it in. You keep everybody away, but do not get involved. And you're gonna get the smart Alex. You're gonna get the guys that know better than you, the guys that tell you that they've been doing this longer than you. I laugh at those guys a lot. And again, it comes down to being calm. If they have a dispute with the rules, you tell them flat out, if you don't like the ruling, we can deal with it later. Now is not the time. Now is the time for everybody to keep playing.
Very
Figure
good.
what I always get is the people who argue with me that that's not in the rules, and then I'll point out, but I wrote the rules. So I know it's in them. Yeah, it happens every year.
It happened like 2 years ago, and I was standing next to you, and I was like, "He wrote the rules."
I wrote the rules. It's like,
So-
don't tell me and Moondog what the rules are. We wrote them. We spent a year going over these things. That's why we have the after action at the end of the game, so we can rewrite the rules for the next game for what worked and what didn't work.
No, my
Don't tell
favorite
me I'm
was
wrong. I wrote them.
one year. It was my favorite was 1 year up there at EMR when you started with the tournament lock for the HPA, and the kid comes up and goes, "It is a tournament lock. It's a sock." I'm like, "No, but it's in the rules. I got a tournament lock." I'm like, "No, that's not in the rules. Sock is not in the rules."
Do we need to remember
I
the
just
red
want to
dot?
add something to what we're talking about here. So dealing with the arguments, I always have like saved on my phone is the link to the rules, so I can always like pull them up real quick. And I try to remember, usually forget it in the hotel room, but try to have the rules and a map. For some reason, I forget that every year, with me on the field. So when someone says, "Hey, I have questions," you whip it out. I'm like, "All right, let's go through it real quick together." And it goes with the cooler heads. You listen to the person's complaint, you walk them through the rules, and you find it really like, if you're humble and not like a jerk or arrogant about it, people listen. The other thing I think that is the most important for every embed to know and remember is you are not a part of a team. You are a ref first. Your job is to make sure the game goes smooth, that there are no issues, and that everyone has a good time. Then you worry about your team winning. I know last year we had some issues with embeds getting hot about shooting into our spawn, being like, "Why is your spawn so close?" Well, we were surrounded, but like, you're an embed. You're supposed to not scream and shout. You're supposed to put on your yellow vest or now wave your flag, come over and deal with it and get it all figured out.
Yeah, absolutely. And we all. This is one of the reasons that's great about having these live streams sessions is that we're all getting to know each other. And this is when you have issues like that where you accidentally have two triages too close to each other, that's when you as an embed go talk to your other buddy who's an embed on the other faction, because we all know each other or getting to know each other now, and you guys can hash it out. It'll all get worked out if we all work together to make that all work out.
Yeah, you look at your watch and say, okay, we're respawning in 3 minutes. You go that way. We're going that way. Don't shoot us in the back. We won't shoot you. Everybody's happy.
Oh yeah, that works so well.
Well, yeah, I know.
It does.
It's easier
We'll
said
have
than
radios,
done.
too.
Sure.
Yeah,
It usually does when the embeds
there's radios.
actually talk. And then
That
the
actually-
guys
No,
who
I
don't
know.
listen, you
There's
shoot them
always-
and say, "Oh, you're dead."
There's always
No,
that
that
group
worked
like
out with
half
that
of me.
green here.
Oh, Amanda, sorry.
Had
Go
that
ahead.
behind the first castle on the right. Deus Ex wanted to get in there, Green wanted to get out, or no, Black wanted to get out, but Green's respawn was right there, and we were just like, hey, we're going in, you guys go out, just don't shoot us in the back, and everyone went their separate ways, because they had a mobile triage there, I was mobile triage, so we're just like, listen, we're going to be at a standstill, standing here shooting each other for hours. You want to go that way, we want to go this way, just turn and walk. And
Yeah, Virtue,
we
weren't
did
you guys
actually
trapped there
succeed
for
in
like
that.
a good 45 minutes?
Oh yeah, we were surrounded for 45 minutes, but to be fair, my guys were having a blast.
Yeah, I know. I kept trying to get his guys out of there, and then that's when I ran into Amanda and her group, and I'm like, well, you go this way and they go this way. Don't shoot each other.
So
But you're
that
always gonna have
actually that actually brings up a good thought, something that does happen regularly in this kind of game, especially for the newer embeds who may not have had to deal with it before. If you find yourself in a position where you literally can't get out, you're stuck, you're just slogging against it, and you're just constantly respawning, get on the horn, tell us that I'm taking all my team, we're going over to B6. Everybody puts on their red rags, you march it through, and then you set up shop. It's that easy. If you can't get out, because like I said, we're there as volunteers, we're working this game, but everybody under you has paid to be there. They want a good, fun game. They're not having fun if they're baking in the sun and can't move. So move them. Do it safely and move them. It's that easy.
And I did last year. I did that quite a few times, but until I ran into one problem with just kids that just don't care one way or the other.
Yeah, well,
they wanted to do what they wanted to do, and that's what led to it.
That's why you call me and I'll get Tim's crew out there, and they're gone.
I was in the process of calling you, and then they stormed off the field to go find Eve because they wanted to complain because I told paying customers that they couldn't cheat and shoot dead people and get off the field.
So let me get back to what Ian was saying about moving the entire team. That's not necessarily your call. That's the CO's call for your faction.
But I'm assuming that you've had that conversation with the CO who says, "Hey, look, we're stuck." Or the CEO is going to say, "We can't get out of here. We're stuck. What do you want to do?"
Yeah, I gave my guys last year when that happened. I gave my guys an option. When everybody was around, I said, "Guys, we could uproot and move over there and come back into the fight, or we could stay here, just keep slapping them." And everybody's like, "Oh no, we're good here. They keep coming to us."
Okay.
All right.
So, but here also, if you notice that as an embed that this is that guys aren't having fun. By all means, talk to the CO and tell them, hey, we can remind them that, hey, we can extract the entire team. We'll just call, a virtual aerial evac, and we'll move to a different part of the field. They may not even know that, or they may have forgotten it, or they may be, they may have their horse blinders on in terms of trying to get to a particular spot, and they may not be thinking about that. So
even though a faction CO is a staff member, he or she is still, it's supposed to follow the same rules as everybody else. So the embed still gets a say on proper gameplay and what's best for the entire team.
Yeah,
and again,
absolutely.
I've always said this: safety, field, fun, in that order.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
All right, let's move over to Buck's joined us.
Hi, sorry I'm late.
Oh, no worries. Okay, we'll get back over to you after we finish everybody's. The last topic was we just wanted to give advice from the point of view of an embed, either to other embeds or to the players coming from the point of view of the embed. So Chase, do you have something to add? Oh, sorry,
no,
Doc would be the next, but okay.
Well, I have been a man of few words tonight, so I've never been an embed. This is my first time as a CO, but I've been a player, and I've come face to face with Virtue a couple times myself. And my only advice would be, he's going, like, in his case, he was super rash and was like, don't be a dick. You know what? That makes sense. I'm here to have fun. Just let them dictate the situation. They're usually going to be fair at what's going to play out. They're probably going to tell you, go separate way. You're both dead. Shut up. Just shut up and move on. You're playing to throw BBs at one another. Just keep moving on with your day. That's the best advice I can give you.
Very, very good.
Have fun.
Now, Chase, I know you said you don't have anything to add, but do you have anything from point of view of a player having to deal with an embed in the past?
As for dealing with event staff in general, coming from a player's point, I've been a player dealing with other players getting in physical altercations, verbal altercations, and I've been injected into those situations where event staff has to come over, and it's a complete buzzkill. It is, and you're just like, guys, just stop. We've all paid the same amount of money to be here. You're wasting your time, our time. You're wasting staff's time, whether they're being paid to be here or they're volunteering to be here. It's just, come on, just part ways and just go back and shoot each other. Instead of screaming at each other, this and that, just go back and sling some plastic at them. That's it.
Well said. All right. Amanda, I'm going to skip over to you because Headkill stepped out for a second, but we'll come back to him once he's back there. But Amanda, you want anything to add?
My biggest thing based off of last year as embed, as an embed, make sure everyone's hydrating. When we were mobile triaging, I stopped so many times. I was like, guys, right now we're at a standstill in the sun. I'm moving all the dead people back. We're pushing back another 50 feet to get into the shade. Sit down, drink, reload, drink. And we pressured so many people, just hydrate. Now that we're getting closer, we need to push for everyone to drink a gallon of water a day. The heat that we've been having lately has been ridiculous. And that's going to be my biggest thing.
That's true. That's a great piece of advice. And just something to be mindful of for the COs or any of the leadership of the factions. There's places of the field like the town, the village that have great structures. It's fun to play at, but it is way open to the sun. And if your faction is stuck out there or spending a lot of time there looking, and it's not a good place to set up a triage. You get hot way faster than you think you will out in the open like that. So just be mindful. Try to get into the tree line as much as possible, especially for your triage selection. Headkill, do you have anything you want any bit of advice or tips?
Yeah, I mean, I tend to spend a lot of time in that big open castle there too. So yeah, I definitely know it gets hot there. But yeah, just keep moving, keep having fun. And don't be afraid to ask questions, right? I walk around a lot, even when I'm dead as tribal leader, and just talk to everybody. Say, do you have any questions? Do you have what how is everything going for you? Have you hydrated? Keep moving, and people are receptive, and they're like, oh yeah, let me hydrate them. Then they move on. It's good.
Absolutely. Virtue, you wanted something to add about hydration?
Because one of the guys who went down last year, I had a conversation with him. So I'm making this a point at every event. You cannot stay hydrated drinking only Gatorade.
No.
If you read any of the fine print on sports energy drinks, it is 1 bottle of Gatorade to 1 bottle of water. Because if you're just drinking Gatorade, you're overloading on sodium and you're going to dehydrate yourself faster.
That's what I do. Not be that
went down.
Yeah.
When he went down, I said, have you had water today? He says, I've been drinking Gatorade. I'm good. I said, did you have water today?
We do have water stations this year.
Yes.
So
yes, very big.
We do have these water stations now.
Yeah, we've got I believe we've got 6 of them on the field.
Yep.
And of course, there is the water station back at the staging. I mean, the stage area. And again, I'd like to ask all the players out there, like, if you see something, say something. If you find that you're at the hydration station and it feels like it's low, let an embed know, and we'll get on, and they'll get back to me, and we'll get to the staff, and they'll go and send a quad and refill that jug. So before it gets past way past half full, let us know, and we'll get those refilled. And now,
Yes.
Buck, who joined us.
Water
Buck,
stations are friendly, neutral territory. Yes.
Yes. Do not shoot at the water stations.
Buck, I actually have a question for you about this. We've pretty much covered, unless you have something else to add that we haven't covered, pretty much covered what an embed kind of wants to impart on their team. Now, as a tribal embed, have you ever had to interject yourself in another team? And how did that go?
Unfortunately, yes, I have had to. I think my first year that I was running for tribal embed, I had to split up greens and black shirts guys because they just kept getting into it. So I had to separate them. I went to find their embeds and separate them out. So as a tribal embed, if you see us coming up, it's probably not a good thing, because if we have to stop being idiots because we're there to make sure you guys have fun, not going to be a fun conversation there. I do have 2 notes though, or a couple notes. If I ask to spot check you, or any of my other tribal embeds ask to spot check you, please don't take offense. 90% of the time, people are thinking you're shooting hot because it is scorching hot already. Every year that we've been here since we moved to EMR, it's been a hot fucking day every time. So they're sunburnt, they're skin sensitive. They're gonna think you're shooting at 450 and you're shooting at probably 209. It happens. Don't take offense if I ask to spot check you. And if I see you're looking pale and I see you need water, I will sit you down or I will drag you off the field if I need to. I am here to make sure you guys are safe. I'm here to make sure you guys have a good time. And no one's having a good time if you have a heat stroke. Please. This is, I don't want to repeat. Airstrip, 2 years ago, you know who you are. One after another that day. And I think Ian got sick of coming out to Airstrip to deal with them that day.
Yeah, that was not fun.
That was a rough day. So please, please, please take what they said, take what Mom and Virtue said about water. Please make sure. I've got freaking 3 hydration bladders. I'm ordering another one so that every single guy on my team that is coming with me has a backup in case they need to. Because last year I dragged 2 of my members off, sat them at our campsite, and they didn't return for an hour and a half to come back on the field.
Don't forget the sunblock too.
Oh yeah.
Oh
Yes.
yeah, absolutely, yeah.
That will also deter those painful shots of getting hit.
Well,
it happens.
with my
gotta love melanin.
well, with my now balding head, I definitely need sunblock on my head.
Don't you wear a hat?
Forget your nose.
Nose and your ears. Yeah.
All right. So we're getting near the end of our hour, but I wanted to.
Hey, Tom.
Yeah.
One thing I put forward a while back that you said bring up here.
Sure.
Restricting embeds to sidearms only.
Oh yes, that's a good question. So I'm totally down with that. What do you guys think? To have that, to say that all the embeds don't bring anything other than a sidearm.
Okay, I'll go first. My argument is pro and con. Pro, only limit to sidearms or even no weapon, I'll be honest, because you're there to do a job, and your job is paramount to winning a game, right? Like you're a fighting player, don't get me wrong, but when you need to stop being a fighting player, I expect you to drop everything and do your job. If you're engaged in a firefight, you're not doing your job. Now, at the same time, I don't like being the guy to take a gun out of somebody's hands. If you can effectively, like Joker's a good example. If you can effectively do your job and play the game, more power to you. Some guys like Cardelos likes to herd those cats and likes to make sure everybody else is enjoying themselves. He doesn't necessarily need a gun. He doesn't want to take one, and that's his decision. I'm not going to say no guns for embeds, but it wouldn't be a bad idea.
When I was an embed, what Ian was saying is true. There were times that I was in the middle of a firefight and I had to like stop what I'm doing, drop my guns to go deal with something. And then when you come back, you hope your guns are still there and nobody stepped on them. I'm with Ian on this. It sounds like a good idea, but what happens is now these people are going from like being a player kind of like staff to just being staff and not really playing the game so much. And then they get involved in firefights and now they can't fight back. That's the problem I see with I agree that it would be nice if they didn't have a side or just did a sidearm only or no weapon, but you're gonna have problems with that.
Well,
all right. So
just
Virtue's got a lot to
Let
say here.
Virtue go for it.
Sorry. All right. I have to take this from two different points of view. One, I have to say this is not my house. This is Ian and Moondog's house. Any rule that dictates what a player, whether they be a volunteer or anything else, can or cannot bring is always a bad idea because you're telling people what their own property that they cannot bring to an event. That's a whole basket of spiders you don't want to get into. If we say sidearms only, if we say no weapons only, there is no point to them being an embed because it is clear who the embed is. He's the guy walking around with no gun.
No, it's true.
That's quite true.
Leaving it up to that individual embed to decide what loadout they want to bring, I feel is more pertinent. Personally, as an embed and a CO, I was never in the thick of a firefight because I knew I had a job to do. If you're an embed and you're in the thick of a firefight, you're clearly not doing your job. You should be back watching said firefight to make sure your guys aren't screwing up. The other side of that coin is I personally, as a CO and an embed, I use my sidearm to hit check my own guys.
This is
Big
true.
point there.
Well, why not give the embeds the paintball pistols?
Oh, why?
No.
Again, let's play devil's advocate. Again, it is then clear who the embed is. He's the guy with the paintball pistol.
Yeah.
I get enough paint on me as it is from that field.
Oh, true.
Same.
That's yeah. So how about this? Because we're quickly running out of time. I'll say this. I'm not going to put a hard fast rule what you can't bring you, but I'm listening to everybody and from my own experience being out there. If you're going to embed, go light. And whether it's an AEG or an SMG or a pistol, go with the lightest gear you have because you're going to be spending a lot of time walking around, a lot more, as much if not more than a regular player. So just go light.
Slings and quick detach slings come in handy.
I was actually just about to say that. Last year I ran my Jack 9 with a box mag. That was my whole kit last year. That it did well. It did very well, and I didn't make it through half the thing because of other problems. But we're not going to talk about that.
All right. So before we end this, I want to pick a winner from last week's live stream where I was giving away this week.
Hold on, I'm gonna stop you real fast. We have one. I think one last question that needs to be addressed.
Okay.
Will certain buildings be in play this year, or is everything a go? Again, that's not our call. We'll find out Friday when we all show up for early chrono what structures EMR has taken out of play or maybe put into play. Anything that's on the map that is going to be taken out of play will be brought to everyone's attention at the safety briefing Saturday morning.
Yeah.
So we can't answer that right now because honestly we don't know. But if
it'll probably be taped off too, right?
Yeah, it'll be taped off. But if it's within the confines of the map that's in your player packet that we know you've all read, assume it's good to go unless you get told otherwise.
Right on. Okay, so giving away this swag bag from a SHOT Show, an Arms Corps bag. It's got a gunsmithing's pad from Next Torch, T-shirt, patches, all swag from SHOT Show. So I'm giving it away to everybody who entered the contest last week. All you have to do is subscribe to Moondog Go, where this show is posted, as well as all the other videos and live streams, and send me a screenshot either of that channel or my TikTok. And Ian's got the URL there. It's going to be at YouTube at Moondog Go. And just for last week, it was just send me a screenshot. And this is pretty much going to be the requirements to be eligible for entry for all the contests up until game day. So we're going to spin. These are all the entrants for this particular prize. And let's see.
You're good to spin. Go ahead.
All right. Well, here we go. Oh, Smurf got it. Samantha. Good luck. Congratulations. All right. Well, congratulations, Samantha. I've got your address from she won the I forget. Oh, she won an O-Light last year from me at the actual game raffle. So I've got her address. So she's getting the swag bag. And this week we've got a new prize for those who enter the contest. You can Ian, if you could put that URL back up on there, moondogindustries.com/contest. I'm going to be giving away, well, not these ones because I'm testing these, but these are the brand new Monstrum Raiders. These are 2000 lumen weapon lights. You've got the two different styles, the big wedge and the smaller wedge. Fully rechargeable, USB-C rechargeable, made from aluminum, so they're solid. These things are weapons unto themselves, but they're freaking hella bright. I mean,
ow.
Yeah, sorry. And your choice, whether the X1 or the X2 to the winner. So for this week, just go to the moondog.com, moondogindustries.com/contest for complete details on how to enter. To qualify, you just have to subscribe to the channel, and you can get a bonus entry by answering this question: why are smoke markers banned this year? And you can find the answer at the beginning of this live stream. All right, we're a little bit over, 2 minutes over, but I want to thank everybody for being on the live stream this week. And again, for all you players out there who are interested, who are coming to Bad Blood, we'll be having live streams every Sunday about this time to answer your questions and to get into different details of the event. And for all of you who haven't got your tickets, get your tickets now. Over half of them are sold. So be sure to go to evic.com to get your tickets. And again, enter the contest. Also, there is a 25% off coupon code on the contest page. So thanks, everybody. Thanks for tuning in, and thanks to all my guests.
Okay.
Moondog, out.